TxStampin Sharon. I am bringing you a super cute card today, and stay with me because I have a little variation at the end. I'm going to show you two different ways to make this card. These are fun, springy, love them. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, you can do so below. After you subscribe, you can hit the little bell. After you do that, you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. If I can ever help you with any of your Stampin' Up! Supply needs, I would be honored. Let me show you my cards. I got this adorable card in the mail from a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator named Bev, and I just thought it was adorable. It's simple but elegant. You could use any designer series paper, so I kept looking at it and I'm like, I know what paper I want to use. The Gingham Gala. Look how fun these colors are. We have Daffodil Delight, Highland Heather, Grapefruit Grove, Lemon Lime Twist, and Balmy Blue. Such fun springy colors, so here we go. These are all the cards that I made super quick, and then I got to thinking, what am I going to do when I run out of the Gingham Gala? So stay with me, I'll show you. So I'm using the Butterfly Gala Stamp Set, lots of butterflies, sweet sentiments, meets all my criteria on a stamp set. And then the Butterfly Duet Punch. Super cute punch has been so popular. It has gone in stock, out of stock. It's back in right now as the time of I'm recording this video. So hopefully you'll be able to get it. But if not, don't worry. I have a tip for you. So I have cut the Gingham Gala down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 because it comes 6 by 6. We're going to go ahead and add that. To our Daffodil Delight layer. And I cut this at 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then I scored and folded it at 5 1/2. You could do it any way you want, but this is just how I went. I have a piece of Daffodil Delight that is 3 inches by 4 1/4, and then a piece of Whisper White that is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So simple measurements, so not too complicated. Since we're going to be doing some stamping, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my mat, my paper piercing mat, because these are photopolymer stamps. I'm going to ink up my stamp using the Memento ink. You want to stamp about 1 inch down. I know that's kind of hard to guesstimate. I even pulled out a ruler and just added a little pencil dot if you wanted to do that. Now my Memento black takes a while to dry. If yours does too, you might want to set this aside and come back to it. I like to just touch it, see if I have any black. Hey, we're looking pretty good. When I first started making these cards, oh, there's a little bit of black. So see, touch it in several places in case it is still wet. The next thing, let me bring my card back in. I noticed that she punched through the Whisper White and the cardstock. So I was like, I'm gonna have to punch through both at the same time. Could get a little tricky, so let me show you my tip that I figured out. I took some glue dots and I decided, well, we're going to be sticking this down anyway. So we're going to use glue dots on the corners. Okay. We're going to take our Daffodil Delight layer and we're going to center it. And I got a smudge of black. I don't know how, because I did go wash my hands after I realized that my ink was still wet. I have found these little sand and pencil erasers at the office supply store. The gray tip will get rid of most of that. Let's see how it does. Pretty good. I'm happy. Next, I took my punch and I placed it where I wanted it. So you don't want to punch on the sentiment layer. And then I kind of closed it enough to where it was holding it for me. And I will tell you, it does take a little bit of elbow grease. You have to really punch it hard to go through both layers of cardstock, but it can be done. Next, I took some ribbon. You could use any color ribbon you happen to have in your stash. I always like to leave the ribbon on the bolt. I just find that there's less waste that way. Trim that off, and then I'm just going to slide it over a bit because I got it a little bit crooked. Raise it up just a little bit. My thank you is being a little bit hidden, but it's all good. It's still a cute card. You can still read it. I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. I think you could use this layout for any stamps you have. I think it's cute, easy. All right, so we're going to line this up. And I basically lined it up with the cardstock meeting the cardstock mat right here. Last thing we're going to do is add some rhinestones. Maybe. Oh, being a little stinker. All right, so we're going to put one in the center of the small one. And then one at the head. One at the bottom. This is just how I did it to line it up better, so you might do better than I did about getting it straight. Whoops. I could have stamped the antennae, but I should have done that before I added it. I didn't do that to my other cards, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, those little antennae would have been cute on that card. I don't think I'll chance it. All right, so that's my card, my version of the card that I got from Bev. And I got to thinking, what if I run out of gingham paper? What if some of my stamping friends didn't get the punch? What can I do? Let me show you. Pretty cute. My favorite colors, black and yellow. Let's make this card. So basically it's the same measurements of my layers, but this time all we're doing is stamping. Okay, we're going to stamp about 1 inch down. And then there's several sets of butterflies and they come attached to line up with that punch. I like to hold that down just a second and make sure all my ink is good and transferred. Oh, don't want to put that away yet. Now I'm going to bring in the bodies. So there's 2 bodies. The fact that these are photopolymer helps me line them up really well. So we have a big body. And a little body. I tell you, it was hard for me to see those at first. I was like, what are those things? Oh yeah, they're the bodies. Little antennae. Super, super cute. You do want to let that dry really, really good because next we're going to be coloring. I used the Memento because I chose to use the Stampin' Blend, and I'm just going to use one color. In case you just have a yellow daffodil marker, you may not have the Stampin' Blend yet, so I want to take that in consideration. Just want to really make sure this is good and dry, especially those bodies because that was the last thing. See, that one's wet. So we're going to wait a few seconds longer. So next I'm going to take my Stampin' Blends and I'm just using the fatter barrel and I'm just going to color my butterfly. You want to use Memento ink when you're using alcohol markers. If you don't have Stampin' Blends, like I said, you could use the Stampin' Right markers. You could use aqua painters and re-inkers. You could use watercolor pencils. Oh, I need to pull those out. I have not played with my watercolor pencils in a while. It's because I kind of got it addicted to the Stampin' Blends because they work so well. You don't ever see your stroke marks. Nice bold colors, love it. You can purchase these individually or you can purchase them as a duo. You get a light and a dark. I am using the dark on this card. So I'm almost out of my Daffodil Delight ribbon, but I was like, we're going to go for it with this card because it doesn't have any designer series paper and it needed a little bit of a pop. So we're going to go ahead and use that. This is one of those ribbons that will be retiring soon, so I guess I won't buy more. I really like it though. I love Daffodil Delight. And like I said, I love basic black with the yellow, so this card would be great if you like the idea of it and you don't want to punch through 2 layers of cardstock like I did, because it does take some muscle. I will admit, I told you. This also works if you don't happen to have any rhinestones for the body, because we stamped the body. You don't have to add them. Ooh, but I think it would be pretty if we did. I love rhinestones too. Anything blingy. I love blingy. I toyed with the idea. See how I lined it up at the top? I'm going to go ahead and just put it in the middle. Let's just see what that looks like. Well, I like them both, but I do think I like it better in the middle. But as you can see, it's the same design, just done differently. I would love to hear your comments on this easy card, and I am going to let Bev know that I made a video with her card because I think it's adorable. So thanks for watching, guys. I sure hope that y'all can see the possibilities with this stamp set, with or without the punch. Add a little ribbon, cute cards. Happy stamping, y'all.